Do you want to buy land, but you're worried about having bad credit or no credit? Don't worry. I'm Scott from Landmodo, and this channel is dedicated to helping you make your land ownership a reality. In this video, we're going to look at how you can buy land even if you have bad credit or no credit. We're going to talk about, well, getting a bank loan and the challenges that you're going to face, but also using a little known secret or tactic called owner financing. So let's get right into bank financing or getting a bank loan. Look, the reality is that if you have bad credit or no credit and you're looking to buy land and you're going to need a loan, well, then it's going to be really hard to go to the bank and get a loan. And there's two reasons behind this. You see, most lenders are going to require that you have a minimum credit score of 620. Now, there are some banks out there that will work with you with a lower credit score. You might have to pay a higher interest rate. But what you're going to find is that for land, most banks are going to require that the mortgage amount, the loan amount, be $50,000 or higher. And some banks might even require $100,000 or higher. And that's simply because the fact that banks, they don't like to do smaller real estate loans. You see, it's harder for the bank to process those loans, and typically they'll just pass. You see, they like to have like a larger amount of money on real estate. The reason is because if they have to foreclose on you, well, then on a smaller loan, it's not cost effective to do that. Now, no one wants to think about the foreclosure costs, but the bankers do. And so if we're thinking about this, we have to be honest with ourselves and understand that that's the reality. So what happens if you want to buy a property for, let's say, less than $50,000? Well, then, and you still need a loan. Well, then your only other option would be to go to the bank and request a signature loan. And when you do that, again, they're going to look at your payment history and your credit history, and they're going to look at the other assets that you own in order to make a decision whether you can get a signature loan or not. And again, a signature loan on low credit or bad credit is going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. You're going to face a challenge. Now, what if you want to go that route? What if you only want to work with a bank, or you can't find a property that you can buy without a bank? Well, then the only course that you have is to set a long-term goal that you want to do this and start to work on your credit. And you can do that by, getting a credit card, making payments on time, and just working to rebuild your credit. It's not an instant fast solution. There are no instant fast solutions for credit issues. Time heals all issues. So you can work through the process, but what if you wanted to buy land like immediately? What if you didn't want to wait? Well, here's my secret tip, and that is to use owner financing. So what is owner financing? Well, it's very simple. It's basically when an owner of a property, like the owner of the land, decides that they want to sell the property, and they'd rather just not have to deal with realtors and deal with bank financing, etc. They will offer it to land buyers with owner financing. One of the websites that you can go to is our own platform, landmodo.com, and on Landmodo, you'll find that the majority of the land sellers there do list their properties with owner financing. One of the questions that people often ask about owner financing is, well, how much good credit do I need, or what are the requirements? And the reality is that since you're dealing with the owner will set their own requirements. And oftentimes there is no credit check. No credit check, like no background check. If you can make the down payment, which oftentimes are very small, if you make the down payment, well, then you can set up a payment plan that will fit your budget. And talking about down payments, you might wonder, well, are the down payments affordable? Oftentimes when you're working with the seller, they are affordable. With most real estate, you have to put down a certain percentage of the sale, 3%, 10%, 3%, 5%, 10%, 20%. So the more you put down, the more the bank will love you. But because you're dealing with the owner, well, then the down payment is often negotiable. It could be as few as a couple $100 to a couple $1,000. It really just all depends on the property. So you have to just really see what's out there and talk to the land sellers to see, like, are they willing to do this and what the down payments are. Another question that people often ask is, hey, what about the monthly payments? Is it affordable? And what you'll find is that most land sellers, when they set the price of the payment terms, they will often use what's called the car payment rule. They're trying to make that land payment basically no different than a car payment. So if you could afford a car payment, most likely you can afford a land payment. It just makes it super easy working with land sellers. Now, will buying land through a seller, like with owner financing, will that help you establish credit? And the reality is that it probably won't. You see, most credit bureaus, they only want to work with like the larger companies. So Visa, MasterCard, the larger banks, you have to have a larger portfolio of loans for them to even be willing to take on the reporting of credit information. But while it may not help you on the credit reporting side, where buying land with owner financing will help you is that you're able to buy an asset, and the assets always help you, because once you own land, it's yours. Like, they don't make it anymore. You've heard that saying over and over again. And that's what makes land, that's one of the reasons why land is such a great investment. Now, what kind of properties can you get with owner finance land and bad credit? And what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a couple of videos of some properties that have been sold or are available with owner financing. Take a look at this video. I captured this one while I was out looking at a property. And this particular property is a 0.63 acre property just to the north of Tampa, and just outside of a smaller town to the north of Tampa. And again, this is a great property. You can put a mobile home on it, and it's a great would make a great investment for something that you want to live in the future, or if you were looking to buy land for a land portfolio. These were two great property. This is a great property. Now, the next property that we're looking at right now, well, this is a 21 acre property that was also in Florida that was sold on owner financing. 21 acres, and you'll notice that there's a road access, paved road access there, power in the area. This is a beautiful property. It's one of my favorite properties that I've seen sold with owner financing. And the owner picked it up with an affordable down payment and monthly payments there as well. And what if you were looking for something more rural? Well, this is an example of a 20 acre property just outside of El Paso, Texas. Now, this property is definitely a much more rural type of a property. But again, you can get this one, and this down payment happened to be for less than $200 down and $200 a month for 20 acres. So you'll see that you can pretty much choose many different types of properties. You can find it. You just have to be aware that many properties you can buy with owner financing. So what questions do you have? Be sure to leave them in the comments below, and be sure to check out this video to help you achieve your land ownership dreams. And I'll see you in the next video.